Hi guys, it's G-Man. You might have seen my first video. It was about my rig. So I wanted to kind of do a video series to get things started. It's going to be about everything that went into building this, all the components and everything, kind of like a review of each piece. And we're going to start things off today with the case that I built it in, which is the CM Storm Scout 2 by Cooler Master. So, let's get started. Okay guys, the first thing we're going to talk about is the outside of the case. Let me just move it around, show you the case real fast. So let's start here at the top. You got your power button in the middle. You got your reset button over here on the right. And on the left, you have a LED button for the fan LEDs that come with the case. You have the CM Storm branding. And as we move down the front of the case, you have your I/O here in the front. You have two USB 2 ports, two USB 3 ports, headphone, and microphone jack, all under this little sliding panel. Prevents dust from getting in there. As we move down the front, we have 3 optical drive bays. I have mine populated with a ASUS Blu-ray drive, and then the rest here is just for ventilation, so that the 120 millimeter fans behind there can suck air in. Speaking of the fans, we have 7 fan mounting points, 2 here in the front for 2 120 millimeter fans. There's also a 140 millimeter fan mount, but you only get 1 fan in the front end. You have 2 fans on the top of the case, right here and right here, and then 2 fans on the side, 1 on the bottom inside, we'll show you that more, and 1 on the back, along with 1 on the hard drive cage itself. Okay, now we're going to talk about the inside of the case. So first, let's start off here in the front. As I said, you have 3 optical drive bays. They are all toolless. You have your 2 fan mounts in the front here, and the front grill comes off. There is dust filtration inside of this front fan. You can vacuum it out. The side panel is held on by thumb screws. Everything in this case is with thumb screws. If you can see on the PCI slots, they're all using thumb screws. If you can see from the side panel, you have a window just to show off the RAM slot, CPU socket, and the PCI slots. You have 2 fan mounts on the side panel. You have a nice little bulge out here, kind of just to go along with the rear side panel, which we'll get to in a little bit. So, first, the hard drive cage. You have places to mount 7 hard drives toollessly, or you can mount 4 SSDs and 5 hard drives. Here's the mount for the SSD. You can mount 1 on the bottom and then 1 using these little side things here. You're gonna have to screw this in, and then it mounts on these toolless rails that just slide and click in. The motherboard tray will hold a ATX motherboard or an MATX motherboard. You have room for a standard ATX power supply. Right here is the bottom fan mount I was talking about, and you can also put a fan right here drawing air through the drives if you have them populated. You got your cable management holes. It's a nice soft rubber, flexible. It doesn't feel like it'll tear easily. You have your one fan mount in the back here. I have a H80i on it with the stock fan. You can also mount the two fans in the top, as I mentioned. I'll take that out for you right now. It just has little clips that you can push in to pop it out. It does not, however, have any dust filtration on it. It's just metal. It's just metal. No like foam to filter dust out. But you have two fan mounts here in the top, both 120 millimeter. You can put a 240 millimeter radiator in there. However, either your fans are going to be sitting on top. You cannot have the top piece on. Either your fans are going to be sitting on top or your radiator is going to be sitting on top, and it kind of impedes the handle, which is one of my favorite parts about this case. The handle is very sturdy, by the way, and has a nice rubber coating. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break when I pick up the entire system. You have your 7 PCI slots, plus one here. This is a special CM Storm slot. You can route your cables through it if you're like at a LAN party and you don't want your peripherals being stolen, like your mouse and your keyboard. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the back. Okay guys, now here's the back of the tray. You have a very big motherboard cutout here for any of your back plates that you need for your cooling solutions. As you can see, my cable management isn't the best in the world. This case, frankly, in my opinion, doesn't have the best cable management options. There are 7 motherboard tray tie-down points. As you can see right here, there is one here, one here, one up here, and then 1, 2, and 3 on this side. You also have 3 tie-down points on the optical drive bays, which I don't find as useful, but you can use them for your front I/O cables. You have a cutout here, pretty generous size cutout here for your USB connectors, your HD, your front panel audio. You have a smaller, I'm not sure if you can see, smaller hole up top for your 8-pin power. You have another cutout right there. Again, these do not have grommets on them, but the others do. You have one at the top of your motherboard right here, one kind of in the middle, and then the one that routes all the cables to the power supply. You also have a hole from the front fans so that they can pass through to get to their points. You also have about 1 inch of room from the tray to the edge of the case. And as I was saying, on the other side, you have the panel kind of bumps out a little bit, so you have a little extra room for all your cable management. Well guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave feedback, leave comments, leave me suggestions. I'm trying to get this channel started. I really want to become something big like Linus Tech Tips or Jay's 2 Cents, or one of the new people I've started watching is Barnacles. Really like him. So please give me your feedback, your comments, give me a like, and have a nice day.